Hi, I'm Jared Nelson from the Investing Channel, and welcome to Markets and Minds, the show where we break down big macro themes into simplified trade ideas. The S&P 500, the index that tracks the performance of the stocks in the largest U.S. companies, traded at new record highs last week, testing as high as 4,249.74 intraday and finishing the week with a close of 4,277.44. That took the S&P 500's total gains for the year to date to plus 13.1%, and those for the last 52 weeks to plus 41.48%. Despite those impressive headline numbers, gains made over recent weeks have been hard-won. In fact, if we look back over the last 3 months, the index added just plus 7.82%, and in the last month, that figure shrinks to just plus 2.3%. At times, it's felt as though the market was running in treacle, particularly when we just looked at an index level. However, the truth is that 2021 to date has been a period of significant change for U.S. equity markets, though much of that change has been happening stealthily and, to some extent, out of view. Markets in 2020 were all about growth stocks and momentum. Companies that connected people and enabled them to work from home or run their businesses remotely soared, led by the likes of Amazon, Netflix, Microsoft, and Zoom. The Nasdaq 100 gained plus 43.74% in 2020 as a result of those trends. However, the pace of change for the index has slowed considerably during 2021, with the index adding just plus 8.61% over the year to date. If we drill down to a sector level, we can see what's been going on. This table shows the performance of the S&P 500 sectors over the last 3 months. What's immediately clear is that the information technology sector, which contains many large-cap Nasdaq-listed stocks, is among the weaker performers over the last quarter, whereas real estate, materials, and financials have enjoyed bigger returns. If we look back at sector performance over the year to date, information technology remains in the bottom half of the table, whilst real estate, materials, and financials are joined at the top of the table by energy, which takes #1 spot with a 2021 performance of plus 44.5%. What we have seen over the course of 2021 is a change of leadership in the stock markets. That is, investors have looked ahead to the reopening of the economy and to sectors that underperformed in 2020, and to stock that stood to benefit from a return to normality. And they bought those names in preference to stocks that had outperformed in 2020. Many of the stocks and sectors that have been 2021 best performers could be thought of as being value stocks, whilst those that did well in 2020 can be labeled as growth stocks. This change of tack by investors can be seen very clearly in this chart, which plots the performance of ETFs that track value and growth stocks respectively. The green line is the Vanguard Value ETF. The red line plots the performance of Vanguard's Growth Tracking ETF, whilst the black line maps out the performance of the Invesco S&P 500 Value and Momentum ETF. Value has clearly outperformed growth over the year to date. But what really stands out is that value stocks that have exhibited momentum have outperformed both general value and growth stocks. We can think of momentum in stocks as a persistent price rise or trend, one that can be observed over various periods or timescales, that is, days, weeks, and months. There is a certain amount of irony about this sea change in the market because growth stocks have historically been seen as being one and the same as momentum stocks. However, the evidence suggests that they are being edged out. The top 10 holdings in the Invesco Value and Momentum ETF include the likes of Ford, GM, Kroger, MetLife, and Capital One. At a sector level, the fund is most exposed to financials and consumer discretionary stocks, with healthcare, utilities, and consumer staples making up the top 5 weightings. Interestingly, the fund does not have a meaningful allocation to the energy sector, and only 1.1% of its assets are allocated to real estate. Could these be the next 2 sectors that will lead value stocks to claim that they are 2021's momentum stocks? That's all we have time for this week, but as usual, make sure you do your due diligence before making any investment decisions.